If you're over 60, there's a good chance you've built a morning routine around something that seems completely harmless, taking a few vitamins. Maybe it's vitamin D for your bones, vitamin E for your heart, or B6 for your brain. After all, supplements are everywhere, easy to find, easy to take, and most of us believe they can only help, not harm. But here's the question nobody really asks. What if those daily vitamins are quietly putting your brain at risk? It may sound surprising, even unbelievable, but more and more neurologists and heart specialists are sounding the alarm. Certain vitamins, especially when taken in high doses or at the wrong time of day, may increase your risk of stroke, brain bleeds, or nerve damage. There are no warning signs. No pain. You go to bed feeling fine, and wake up unable to lift your arm, slurring your words, or struggling to stay balanced. In many cases, these frightening symptoms aren't caused by diet, smoking, or a sedentary lifestyle, but by something far more subtle. A well-meaning supplement that's quietly tipped your body out of balance over time. Sound hard to believe? That's what many patients thought, too, until it happened to them. In this video, we're going to walk through 5 common vitamins, ones that older adults take every day, that may secretly put your brain and heart at risk if taken incorrectly. We'll explain what happens in the body, how these risks build up, and what you can do to stay safe. Now, this isn't about fear, and it's definitely not about avoiding vitamins altogether. It's about understanding the risks, making smarter choices, and respecting that your body at 70 doesn't process supplements the same way it did at 30. Used wisely, vitamins can support your health. Used carelessly, they can quietly do the opposite. So, if you care about your brain, your independence, or your loved ones, stick with us, because even a small change in your routine after today might just protect you from a life-altering event tomorrow. 1. Vitamin D. Friend to your bones, silent threat to your arteries. For years, vitamin D has been praised as one of the most essential nutrients for older adults. It helps your body absorb calcium, strengthens bones, and plays a key role in keeping your immune system strong. In fact, for many seniors, taking vitamin D is a daily habit, something they do without thinking, assuming it's a safe and simple way to protect their health. And for the most part, that's true. Vitamin D can be incredibly beneficial, but only when taken the right way, in the right dose, and at the right time. Here's what many people don't know. Taking high doses of vitamin D, especially in the evening, can quietly raise your risk of stroke and other serious cardiovascular issues. Let me explain how. When you take large amounts of vitamin D, your body starts absorbing more calcium from the food you eat. But if there's more calcium than your body needs, and if it's not being properly regulated, that excess calcium can build up in your bloodstream. Over time, instead of going to your bones where it belongs, it starts to deposit into your blood vessels. The result? Your arteries can become stiff and narrow, making it harder for blood to flow freely. This condition, known as vascular calcification, is a major risk factor for high blood pressure, blood clots, heart attacks, and strokes, especially during the night and early morning hours when the body is more vulnerable. This is particularly dangerous for older adults because as we age, our blood vessels naturally lose some of their flexibility. Combine that with dehydration, poor sleep, and a sudden spike in calcium levels overnight, and you've created a perfect storm for a cardiovascular event. In fact, some doctors have reported seeing patients who seemed perfectly healthy one day and then suffered a stroke overnight. Their blood tests often reveal elevated calcium levels and signs of vitamin D toxicity, all from taking extra-strength supplements they bought over the counter. You might be surprised to learn that many vitamin D products sold in pharmacies and online contain 5,000 to 10,000 IU per capsule, far more than most older adults actually need. And Some people take these doses every single day, not realizing that even 2,000 IU per day may be too much if you're not deficient. So what can you do to stay safe? Here are 3 important steps. Take vitamin D in the morning. This helps your body regulate calcium levels throughout the day and avoids nighttime spikes that can stress your cardiovascular system. Get your blood levels checked regularly, especially if you're also taking calcium supplements or medications for your heart or blood pressure. Too much vitamin D can interact with these treatments in dangerous ways. Know your dosage. Don't assume that more is better. In fact, many people get enough vitamin D through a combination of diet, sunlight, and multivitamins. Only take high-dose supplements if your doctor has advised you to. Vitamin D is still important, but like any powerful tool, it needs to be used with care. The key takeaway? Helpful in the right amount, harmful in excess. Don't let a good habit become a hidden health risk. Read your labels, ask questions, and always listen to what your body and your doctor are telling you. 2. Vitamin E, not always a heart helper. Vitamin E has earned a strong reputation as a heart-friendly antioxidant. It's commonly believed to support circulation, protect blood vessels, improve skin health, and even help with memory. That's why many older adults, encouraged by articles, advertisements, or word of mouth, take it daily, often without a second thought. But here's the hidden truth. At high doses, especially when combined with blood-thinning medications, vitamin E can increase your risk of a brain bleed, and you may not notice any warning signs until it's too late. Let's break this down. Vitamin E works in part by acting as a natural anticoagulant, meaning it slows down the blood's ability to clot. This can be helpful in small amounts for overall cardiovascular support. However, if you're already taking medications like aspirin, warfarin, Coumadin, or Plavix, adding high-dose vitamin E into the mix can make your blood too thin. And that's where the danger begins. Your brain, with its delicate network of tiny blood vessels, is especially vulnerable. When the blood becomes overly thin, even a slight increase in pressure or a fragile vessel can trigger a hemorrhagic stroke, bleeding inside the brain. In these cases, there's often no trauma, no fall, and no obvious warning. Just a sudden headache, confusion, dizziness, or in some cases, loss of consciousness. It's important to understand that the recommended daily intake of vitamin E for adults over 60 is just 15 milligrams, or about 22 IU, international units. But many over-the-counter supplements contain 200, 400, even 1,000 IU per capsule, and some people take these every single day for years. The labels often say things like natural vitamin E or heart health support, but they don't always mention the potential risks, especially when mixed with medications you may already be taking. Let's be clear, vitamin E does have benefits, but more doesn't mean better, and in the case of older adults, more can actually be dangerous. What should you do? Check your supplements carefully. If your vitamin E dosage is higher than 100 IU per day, and you're also taking aspirin, warfarin, or any blood thinner, you could be at risk without realizing it. Talk to your doctor. Always inform your healthcare provider about any supplements you're taking, especially before starting a new one. Even if it's just a vitamin, interactions are real. Listen to your body. Unusual headaches, dizziness, blurry vision, or confusion should never be ignored, especially if you're taking blood thinners and vitamin E. Consider food sources instead. Instead of high-dose pills, try getting vitamin E from natural sources like nuts, almonds, sunflower seeds, spinach, and avocados. These foods provide vitamin E in a balanced, safer form. Vitamin E isn't the enemy, but using it without guidance can turn a helpful habit into a hidden hazard. So remember, check your dose, review your medications, and when in doubt, ask a professional. Your brain depends on the balance, and with the right knowledge, you can protect it without putting your heart or health at unnecessary risk. 3. Vitamin B6, brain booster or nerve breaker. Walk into any pharmacy or browse any online supplement shop, and you'll likely come across bottles labeled brain support, nerve health, or energy boost. And if you check the ingredients, one name will pop up over and over again: vitamin B6. Vitamin B6, also known as pyridoxine, is often promoted as a nutrient that helps maintain healthy nerves, boosts energy levels, and supports memory. Naturally, it sounds like a smart choice for older adults, especially those concerned about mental clarity or age-related cognitive changes. But what many people don't realize is that too much vitamin B6 can quietly do the opposite of what it promises. In high doses, especially when taken in supplement form over long periods, vitamin B6 can actually damage your nerves, sometimes permanently. Let's take a closer look. When B6 is taken in large amounts, it can build up in the body and affect the protective coating around your nerves, much like stripping insulation off an electrical wire. The result? You may begin to experience tingling or numbness in your hands or feet, difficulty with balance or walking, muscle weakness, tremors, and in some cases, even confusion or memory issues. This condition is known as peripheral neuropathy, and the symptoms often creep in slowly. Many people mistake them for arthritis, aging, or early dementia, when in reality, it could be a preventable case of B6 toxicity. What makes this even more concerning is that B6 toxicity doesn't just go away once you stop taking the vitamin. In some cases, nerve damage may improve over time, but for others, it can become permanent, affecting mobility and independence for life. So how much B6 do older adults actually need? Experts recommend that adults over 60 only need around 2 to 10 milligrams per day, and that includes what you get from food. Vitamin B6 is found naturally in many common foods like bananas, potatoes, chicken, fortified cereals, tuna, spinach. These natural sources are more than enough for most people, and they're much safer than high-dose pills. Now, here's the problem. Many popular brain or nerve support supplements sold online or in stores contain 50, 100, even 200 milligrams of B6 per tablet. And often, people take more than one pill per day, thinking it will give them extra protection. In reality, this extra protection could be silently harming their nervous system. What should you do? Read the label. Check the amount of vitamin B6 in your supplements. If it's more than 10 milligrams per day, talk to your doctor, especially if you've been using it long term. Watch for early signs. Don't ignore tingling, numbness, or changes in coordination. These could be early symptoms of B6 overload. Rely on food first. A balanced diet with whole foods can easily meet your B6 needs without the risk of overdose. Be cautious with brain booster supplements. Just because something is marketed as natural or for memory doesn't mean it's safe at high doses. Vitamin B6 is essential, but like many things in health, more is not always better. Used wisely, it can support your nervous system. Used carelessly, it can quietly damage the very nerves it was meant to protect. Let knowledge be your best defense. And always choose balance over excess, especially when it comes to your brain. 4. Vitamin A, good for your eyes, but too much can imitate a brain tumor. Vitamin A is often celebrated as the go-to nutrient for healthy vision, strong immunity, and graceful aging. It's found in many multivitamins, anti-aging supplements, and skin and eye formulas. If you're over 60, chances are you've taken it or been told to. But here's what almost no one tells you. Too much vitamin A can cause serious problems, especially for your brain. Unlike water-soluble vitamins, like C or B, vitamin A is fat-soluble. That means your body stores it in your liver, fatty tissues, and even your brain instead of flushing out the excess. Over time, if you're consistently taking high doses, this storage can quietly build up to toxic levels. And the consequences? One of the most dangerous is a condition called pseudotumor cerebri, or false brain tumor. This isn't an actual tumor, but it behaves like one. Vitamin A toxicity can cause increased pressure inside the skull, which leads to symptoms that closely mimic those of a stroke or brain tumor. Persistent headaches, blurred or double vision, dizziness or nausea, loss of balance, slurred speech. In some cases, even vision loss or cognitive changes. It can be terrifying, especially because the warning signs are so similar to other serious conditions. Some people end up in the ER, fearing a stroke or brain hemorrhage, only to discover that the real issue is a buildup of vitamin A in their system. Let's talk numbers. The recommended daily amount of vitamin A for older adults is about 2,500 to 3,000 IU per day. That amount is already included in most quality multivitamins. But many people, without realizing it, take extra through additional supplements for eyes, skin, or anti-aging, which can push their daily intake to 5,000, 10,000, or even 20,000 IU. And unlike other nutrients, your body doesn't get rid of that extra easily. With age, your liver slows down, making it even harder to clear the buildup. That's why seniors are especially at risk of toxicity, even if they feel fine at first. So, what should you do? Check your labels. Look at how much vitamin A is in your multivitamin, plus any other supplements you're taking. If the combined amount exceeds 3,000 IU, it's time to reconsider. Avoid doubling up. Many seniors unknowingly take a multivitamin and a separate eye or skin supplement, not realizing both contain vitamin A. This kind of stacking is one of the most common causes of toxicity. Watch for early signs. Frequent headaches, vision changes, or dizziness are early red flags. Don't brush them off as just aging. Get checked. Only supplement when needed. If your doctor hasn't specifically advised extra vitamin A, you likely don't need more than what's in your daily multivitamin and diet. Natural sources of vitamin A include carrots, sweet potatoes, spinach, and liver. These foods are generally safe, as your body processes them differently from high-dose supplements. Vitamin A is important, but it's also powerful, and when stored in your body over time, it can quietly turn from friend to foe. Respect the dose. Be cautious with combinations, and always ask your doctor before adding more. Because when it comes to your brain and eyesight, too much of a good thing can truly become dangerous. 5. Niacin, vitamin B3, cholesterol helper or blood pressure spike. Niacin, also known as vitamin B3, is often praised as a natural solution for lowering cholesterol. You'll find it in heart health supplements, energy drinks, and even some breakfast cereals. Some doctors prescribe it in medical doses, and many people buy it over the counter to support circulation and heart function. But what most people don't know is that high doses of niacin can trigger sudden, dangerous swings in your blood pressure, and even increase your risk of a stroke. Let's take a closer look. When taken in doses above 50 milligrams per day, niacin can cause your blood vessels to expand quickly, especially in the face and upper body. This is why people often experience niacin flush, a sensation of warmth, redness, or tingling. It may feel harmless, even reassuring, as if the supplement is doing something. But here's the catch. Shortly after that initial dilation, the blood vessels constrict again sometimes, suddenly. This back-and-forth motion expand, then snap tight can cause sharp fluctuations in blood pressure, which puts strain on both the heart and the brain. For older adults, whose arteries may already be stiff or narrowed, this can be especially dangerous. Over time, the stress of these fluctuations can lead to what doctors call a transient ischemic attack, TIA, or what many refer to as a mini-stroke. These attacks often come with temporary symptoms like slurred speech, sudden dizziness, brief confusion, numbness or weakness on one side of the body. Many people recover within minutes and assume it was just fatigue or a moment of stress, but in reality, a TIA is a major warning sign that something in the body is off, and it should never be ignored. What's even more concerning is that many over-the-counter heart health supplements contain 500 to 1,000 milligrams of niacin per dose, often labeled as flush-free or extended release. Even though these versions reduce the flushing sensation, they still carry risks, especially for people with high blood pressure, heart rhythm problems, or those on medication. How to protect yourself. Stick to low doses unless medically advised. For most older adults, no more than 50 milligrams of niacin per day should be taken without a doctor's supervision. Read your labels carefully. Don't rely on front label phrases like supports heart health. Turn the bottle around and look at the actual dosage. Avoid doubling up. You may be getting niacin from multiple sources, a multivitamin, a heart support formula, or even fortified foods. Keep track of your total intake. Know the warning signs. If you've had facial flushing, pounding in your chest, dizziness, or a mini-stroke in the past, bring it up with your doctor and mention any niacin-containing supplements. Niacin can help when used carefully, especially under medical supervision. But like every other vitamin we've covered, more is not always better. For your heart and brain to truly benefit, you need balance, not overload. Don't let a healthy habit quietly push your body toward danger. Choose wisely, read your labels, and remember, the goal isn't just to feel better, it's to stay safer. So, what's a safer choice than vitamins? By now, you've seen how even common vitamins, when taken in high doses or at the wrong time, can quietly increase the risk of stroke, nerve damage, or brain bleeding. But that doesn't mean you should give up on nutrition altogether. The truth is, your body, especially as you age, wasn't designed to rely on pills. It was built to absorb nutrients from food, real, natural, recognizable food. Unlike synthetic supplements, which often flood the body with isolated nutrients in high concentrations, whole foods deliver vitamins, minerals, healthy fats, fiber, and antioxidants in just the right balance, exactly the way your body prefers. A brain-healthy breakfast might look like this: 1 boiled egg, a great source of clean protein and choline which supports memory. 1/2 an avocado, packed with healthy fats that support brain cell function. 1 slice of whole grain bread, provides slow-burning energy and helps stabilize blood sugar. A handful of blueberries or walnuts, rich in antioxidants and omega-3s that protect brain health. A glass of warm water first thing in the morning. Hydration is key to healthy brain and heart function. This simple meal made from everyday ingredients can do more for your body and brain than most supplements ever could. And it's not just about breakfast. Throughout the day, aim to include leafy greens, like spinach, kale, or collard greens, high in folate, vitamin K, and antioxidants. Fatty fish, like salmon, sardines, or mackerel, rich in omega-3s to support heart and brain health. Whole grains, like oats, quinoa, or brown rice, for steady energy and better circulation. Nuts and seeds, like almonds, walnuts, or flax seeds, for vitamin E, magnesium, and healthy fats. Colorful fruits and vegetables for a wide range of brain protective nutrients. Why is food safer? Because food works in harmony with your body. It's digested slowly, allowing nutrients to be absorbed over time, and it doesn't create the same spikes or imbalances that high-dose pills can cause. Also, food is harder to overdose on. You're unlikely to eat 10 times the safe amount of vitamin A from carrots, but you could easily do that from a supplement capsule. And unlike pills, whole foods provide thousands of beneficial compounds that work together in ways science is still discovering. It's not just about one vitamin, it's about the whole package. If you're already taking supplements, that's okay. This isn't about fear, it's about awareness. Start by reviewing what you're currently using. Talk to your doctor. Ask whether you really need that extra vitamin, or whether a better breakfast could do the job instead. Your body knows how to heal if you give it the right fuel. So instead of asking, "What pill should I take for my heart, my brain, or my energy?" try asking, "What food can I eat to nourish myself naturally?" Because in most cases, the answer is on your plate, not in your medicine cabinet. Conclusion: vitamins aren't bad, but misusing them can be. Let's be clear. Vitamins themselves are not the enemy. They play a vital role in keeping our bodies and minds strong, especially as we age. But like any tool, they must be used wisely. When taken in the wrong dose, at the wrong time, or without proper guidance, even common vitamins like D, E, B6, A, or niacin can quietly put your health at risk. They can raise your blood pressure while you sleep, thin your blood too much, damage your nerves, or build up in your system until your brain starts sending distress signals. And the worst part? These risks often come without warning. You may feel perfectly fine until one day you're not. That's why knowledge is the most important supplement of all. So, what can you do starting today? Read the label. Don't just trust the front of the bottle, check how much of each vitamin you're actually getting. Talk to your doctor, especially if you're already taking medications for your heart, blood pressure, or cholesterol. Listen to your body. A strange headache, tingling in your hands, dizziness, or vision changes may be telling you more than you think. Don't assume more is better. Sometimes, just eating real, nutrient-rich food is the best thing you can do for your brain and body. At age 60, 70, or 80, every decision you make about your health matters more than ever. And the best medicine is often not found in a capsule, but in your awareness, your choices, and your commitment to staying informed. So stay curious, stay cautious, and remember, a little knowledge can protect you more than a handful of pills ever will.